Tiphanie, and today I wanted to do a book haul and talk about all the books that I bought in August. I almost said September. So it was pretty crazy because a few of these I picked up at the Dollar Tree, which is crazy because hello, they're all $1. So a lot of these I just couldn't say no to. So super pumped to find some of these books, and some of these books were on my TBR. Like, they weren't just books I picked up and was like, oh, I'll give this a chance. Pretty excited to say the least, if you can't tell already. First book I picked up is The Land of Love and Drowning by Tiphanie Yanique, and I was really excited because I heard about this on the Get Booked podcast from Book Riot. And somebody called asking for like multi-generational family sagas, which is like a million buzzword yes please words for me. And so this covers 3 generations on the Virgin Islands, and I was so excited because I put it on my TBR immediately after hearing that podcast episode. And then this was at the Dollar Tree, just like waiting for me to pick it up, guys. Do you even understand? So stoked. The next book I picked up was Joyce Carol Oates' My Heart Laid Bare. Honestly, this cover, like, I don't think there's an alternate reality where I didn't walk out of that Dollar Tree with this book because it just spoke to me and I thought it was beautiful and it said, please pick me up and take me home. So I was looking at it and it looks like Joyce Carol Oates has like what's called like a gothic saga, and I own the first one, which is Bellefleur, and I own that on my Kindle, so I plan to read that. And this is number 4, and it looks like this is about a main character who is kind of a traveling con artist. So I don't know, I'm guessing the books are told like chronologically. I don't know if you can possibly read them out of order. I'll have to look into that. And the last book I picked up at the Dollar Tree was The Children's Crusade by Anne Packer. I'll be honest, this book I picked up because I had it confused with another book that seemed kind of dark, and I know a lot of people had mixed opinions on. I can't think of the title right now. I'll put it down below. But I picked it up, I took it home, and it turns out it's basically like a family drama with adult siblings, which is also something that is totally up my street. So I will get to this. It wasn't what I was expecting, but it was in a good way because it's exactly the kind of book I like anyway. So totally worked out. I was going to my library, and they have a table with like a few books that they're selling all the time because the library I went to this time doesn't have like its own store. And I saw Jesmyn Ward's Salvage the Bones. You can see the deal I got there. It's only $1. But this is a book I heard mentioned a lot also on the Get Booked podcast. And I know this takes place, I think, a little before Hurricane Katrina, and it's kind of like this really dark coming of age story with this girl who is a teenager and she's pregnant, and she also has to prep for this like incoming disaster, and her dad is an alcoholic and absent, and I believe like her older siblings also have some kind of issues. So it just seemed really dark and just an interesting look at this family dynamic, and I wanted to explore it. I'm also just interested in Jesmyn Ward's work in general. Just looking at the stuff she's written, she's an author that I'm just really interested in checking out her work, so I definitely thought I would start here. And the next book was book mail that I got from Steve Donoghue. I was totally pumped. This is How to Behave in a Crowd by Camille Bordas. This is kind of a family drama that takes place in France. And it seems a little like the Royal Tenenbaums because it's a family with like a bunch of genius, like prodigy type children, and there's some kind of tragedy or disaster that befalls the family, and it's up to like the one normal, like non-prodigy sibling to like bring them all together, which just sounds fantastic, and I'm really excited to get into this. Thank you, Steve. I don't know the whole story, but my husband's uncle knew that I was a reader, and randomly in the mail he sent me A Constellation of Vital Phenomena by Anthony Marra, which is a book I have been planning to read, which is like great because I think when people find out I'm a reader, they kind of don't know the kind of books that I like, and I just thought it was pretty awesome that he actually sent me a book that I had been wanting to read, which was fantastic. So really excited. Thank you to my husband's Uncle Steve. You know, I can't stay away from those Kindle daily deals. I can't help it. It's an addiction. Like, I check it every morning, and like every couple days I buy something. It's bad. They're only like $1.99, and it's an addiction. So I picked up Mark Edwards' Follow You Home, which was a book that was on my TBR. This is kind of a thriller. The synopsis makes it seem like there's horror elements, but like nowhere is it ever listed as horror. But I guess this couple comes back from their vacation, and I think like Eastern Europe, but like something unspeakable happened that changed them forever. I'm guessing it followed them home, hence the title Follow You Home. But I mean, that's really all I know about it. It just seemed really interesting, and I definitely wanted to read it after my trip to Europe because I just didn't need anything else to be more paranoid about. So timing worked out great when it went on sale. I also picked up Grady Hendrix's Horrorstor. I really enjoyed My Best Friend's Exorcism. I thought it was just like a really fun horror novel, and this kind of seems to be, I'm guessing that's just Grady Hendrix's thing, is that he writes like fun, kind of gimmicky horror novels. So this is about employees who have to stay overnight at kind of like an IKEA, but not an IKEA. And the story, the way it's laid out, is like an IKEA catalog. So really fun. Looking forward to just having an enjoyable, fluffy time with that. So I picked up like two kind of like classic, or at least classic, and if not classic, at least older horror novels. So I picked up Jeffrey Convitz's The Sentinel, and John Farris' All Heads Turn When the Hunt Goes By, which I think is just an awesome title. The premise for The Sentinel was like this woman lives alone and she has like a blind priest that lives across the street who's like creeping her out, and I guess she has like reason to be paranoid. Maybe exorcism happens. I'm really not sure. The premise isn't giving me a whole lot. And then All Heads Turn When the Hunt Goes By, even less. Like, I don't know what it's about, but it seemed really interesting. The cover on the Kindle has like a snake face, and I'm just really not sure where to go with that, but it was a daily deal and I thought, hey, let's give it a try. Also, last, to finish it all off, most of Ania Ahlborn's books were on sale as Kindle daily deals, so I picked up The Pretty Ones, The Shuddering, The Bird Eater, yeah, so those three. Julie from A Girl and a Book read Brother earlier this year, and she really liked it. She said it was really dark and disturbing, and it just wasn't afraid to get like violent and gritty, which is awesome in a horror writer. And there's not a lot of female horror writers, so I was pretty excited. Definitely wanted to support her and check her out and see what her stuff's all about. Anyway, guys, those are all the books that I bought in August. Let me know if you've read any of these, if you have thoughts on any of these, or if you can tell me what those two like old horror books are about. If you've read those, let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!